We finally got Assassin's Creed Red, or should I say Assassin's Creed Shadows, as it is now officially known as. Yes, I know we found that out a day or two ago, but anyway, I'm very excited. This trailer was about as good of a CGI trailer as I could have asked for this particular game, and I'm gonna go over a bunch of reasons why, a bunch of takeaways from the trailer. I know it's CGI, so obviously they're not showing any gameplay, but as far as setting the tone for what this game is going to be, and hinting at some things that we could see in gameplay, I really like what I'm seeing so far. I think they really nailed it, and I'm gonna go over that today. So without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave it a big old like. If you enjoy content like this, you want more like it, be sure to check out that button underneath the video. It used to be red, but it still says subscribe. Last but not least, I gotta thank my channel members. I know it's been a while, but without you guys, these videos would not be possible. So thank you so much. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, be sure to check out that button. It says, it's blue, it says join, click it, it's really cool. Anyway, let's get right on into this bad boy. So first things first, I want to get this out of the way first. For any of you purists out there who are wondering, no, there is no mythical garbage in this game. I had to start off with that, because I know Ubisoft Quebec, everyone's like, oh God, but after Odyssey, I know, PTSD, me too. I hear you. None of that in this. Instead, we just get pure awesomeness the entire time. It's really great. So let's talk about what's actually in the trailer instead of the things that are not in the trailer. Anyway, so the first character we get introduced to is Naoe. I've heard it pronounced correctly. My mouth just doesn't work that way. I'm just gonna call her Naoe. That's as close as I can get. She is from Iga, which Iga and Koko were the two places where the Shinobi originated in Japan. So her being from there, great historical detail. I really like off the bat where this is going. Now, she's introduced in the middle of an attack on Iga, and it's hinted at about the Great Unifier. This is hinting at Oda Nobunaga, who was referred to as the Great Unifier because during the Sengoku period, he was trying to unify Japan under one leader, him. If you've seen the TV show Shogun, that takes place about 20 years after this game starts. This game starts in 1579. Shogun takes place in 1600. I know Shogun isn't 100% realistic as far as the history it's telling, but it does a good enough job that it's about right for the people it's representing. Anyway, as you can tell if you've seen Shogun, Nobunaga's plans don't exactly pan out the way he would like them to, or if you're big into history, you probably already know that. Now, the person that we see Naoe with, as this attack is about to happen, is her father and most likely her mentor, and that's going to be Fujibayashi Nagato, who was a well-known Shinobi at this particular time and is likely the reason she has the skills that she has. Now, one thing I am curious with Naoe and the other Shinobi in the area is if Shinobi and assassins are pretty much the same thing, or if they are something that have some distinction between them. Historically, Shinobi were not ever sent on kill missions. Now, if a target was there, they would obviously take them out if the opportunity presented itself, but they weren't sent like, here's a name, go kill them. That was not typically their job. Obviously, assassins, that's kind of their entire MO, just saying. Now, is that a big enough detail that I would be like, oh my God, they ruined the game by doing that? No, I think it could be interesting to present a conflict philosophically, but I don't think it's something that is 100% necessary. If they wanted to blend the two together in a way, I think that could work as well. Now, we do see Naoe show off some of her stealth abilities, obviously introduced running in the nighttime with a bunch of smoke around her and stuff, with some throwing stars. Pretty cool. Between the throwing stars and the grapple hook that we see, those are kind of two of the tools that were rumored, and I'm sure there will be more things like smoke bombs and whatnot. As the stealth protagonist, I'm sure she'll have a lot of tools at her disposal to be able to get through a lot of areas in a quiet and ghostly manner. Now, Shinobi technically were samurai depending on the point in history you're talking about. I have made a big stink about it on Twitter about how Shinobi are actually samurai, and in a lot of cases they were. Shinobi was a job, a samurai was a class. Now, after a while, after the Shinobi had been around for a while, there were certain classes that also went on to become Shinobi that were not necessarily samurai. So her not having the samurai title, and I don't know that there were female samurai, I'm not sure on that. It makes sense that she wouldn't have that. So I'm not totally against that particular detail. Obviously, she has a katana and her other tools, so that could help her blend around town a little bit more than I think she otherwise would have. Obviously, once we get introduced to Yasuke, he's not exactly a guy who's going to be blending into places just based on this sword stuff he's doing right here. This guy's a bit of a beast. I mean, I'm just saying, you might watch this and be like, he's kind of cartoonishly strong. And I would like to remind you that Oda Nobunaga was drawn to Yasuke, obviously not just for his skin color, which he was fascinated by, but also because he was very strong and physically imposing and taller than the average person in Japan at that time. So I'm just saying, imagine LeBron James with armor and a sword. You're not familiar? LeBron James is 6'9", 250 pounds, very large man. Not a guy I'd want to encounter wearing armor and a sword. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Now, it does seem that Yasuke and Naoe have a bit of a conflict in the very beginning. In fact, they're introduced on opposing sides of a fight. Yasuke is literally burning down her village. So, not exactly friends at first, but as the trailer hints, as they go on, they must learn to work together in order to accomplish the goal that they're trying to accomplish. Now, what is that goal? We don't know. We're not really hinted at. It could be chasing a piece of Eden. It could be taking down Templars. It could be taking down somebody else entirely. As to what drives Yasuke to want to work with Naoe, that could be a number of things as well. Could it have to do with the death of Oda Nobunaga? Does he want to catch the people responsible? Could it have to do with him having a philosophical disagreement at a certain point with the way Nobunaga was going about things? It's kind of a mystery as to what drives him that way. But I am very curious as to how his story would play out. In my perfect world, the way I would want to see his story play out, and again, this is total speculation, I would like to see him sort of have an Edward Kenway type of story, where at first he's getting all the power and the glory that he can get from working so closely with Nobunaga, and then once that's taken away from him, historically he disappears from the historical record, but I think that could be the perfect time for him to sort of have a change of things. Once you've lost that position of power and privilege, and you have to experience the world like everyone else, to have to change your perspective because you finally are seeing the world through the lens of most other people, I think that could be a really cool character story and something I would really like to see. But again, we don't know what would motivate him to do this, to work with Naoe, and same with Naoe, why she would want to work with him. What drives her to want to do that? Does it have to do with a brotherhood? Is it a shift in ideals? Is it something like we just have to temporarily put our disagreements aside for this? I'm very curious. It leaves me with a lot more questions, and that is exactly what I want from a CGI trailer. This trailer had a ton of cool stuff in it. I also want to point out Naoe does fight with her hidden blade, and also it can be folded like Connor Kenway's. Nice little detail in there as well. So I'm pretty excited with everything this trailer did. There's not really anything I was like, maybe the cheesy line at the end, but other than that, this trailer pretty much nailed everything I could have asked it to nail. So let me know down below, did you enjoy this trailer? Which character are you most excited to play as? Thank you so much for watching. Let's have a conversation down below, and I will see you in the next video, which will come sooner than I said last time. I know it had to do with school. You don't even want to know the algebra class I had to take. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.
We are the shadows that serve the light.